Hello everybody, it's Tim here again, here to the movie review. Finally saw Venom, finally. Now for Venom, I know it's getting, I don't care about critic reviews. The thing about me is every review you get from me is going to be my true opinion. I'm not going to overly hate a movie just because it's popular. I'm not going to overly love a movie just because it's popular. What you get from me will be my real opinion. Now here's my real opinion on Venom. Now, I don't really read reviews, but I go on Twitter a lot and they plaster like the critics' opinions about stuff on there like constantly. And right now they're on there saying, critics hate Venom, critics hate Venom. But of course Venom's doing magnificent at the box office and you're going to get 20 more Venom movies. So, I can only give my personal opinion on Venom. Personally, I liked it. It's not great, but it was pretty good. I'd give it 3.5 out of 4. I like this better than Spider-Man Homecoming with Tom Holland, which I didn't think was all that great. It was good. I like this better than, Spider-Man 3, definitely, which is still a worse Spider-Man flick. Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's better than that. And then Amazing Spider-Man 1, which I actually thought was good, but only good, it's better than that. This is a pretty good 3.5 star flick. It's perfectly watchable and enjoyable. The story is messy, but when this movie is good, it is really fun. Let's see. You got Tom Hardy basically plays Eddie Brock. He's like this dude who wants to like help out society and the homeless, especially, and everything. He has like this blog and all this. He's going out with Michelle Williams, who actually was from like Dawson's Creek. I think she's like Heath Ledger's ex-woman before he passed away. She's really good here, and Tom Hardy does a great job. He acts like Jim Carrey. He reminds me of Jim Carrey, just like a rubber-faced craziness he does. Like when he gets took over by Venom, he's like running through the trees, like all at once his body like jerks, like whoa, and flips back. It was pretty damn funny. Like, it's really odd. This movie does have a weird tonal change, like, partway through it. This movie starts out, it's got more of, like, a horror type thing going on. Where, like, these people get the symbiotes on them, and, like, one of them's, like, killing all these people in this ambulance and everything. And this one symbiote riot, like, hops from person to person. It's kind of boring. It takes it forever. And you know what's going to end up on the main villain. The main villain of this blows. Like, the riot symbiote, when you actually see it, looks great. It looks really cool. But, when it's actually just the human dude, he is terrible. Riz Ahmed plays the villain here. His villain sucks. He is boring as hell and just too plain. He plays like this mad scientist dude who's like, science is God, you know, or whatever. He wants to like help humanity. He's an extremist, but he wants to do it by killing as many of us as possible as it takes. So he'll like kill 90% of the planet to save the whatever 1%'s left. It's just really stupid. Just such a plain character I've seen 50 billion times. Of course, Tom Hardy wants to expose the dude. He breaks in there, and the Venom symbiote gets on him. He takes off to the woods. Pretty cool action scene. Pretty funny. And just the interactions between Tom Hardy and Venom is hilarious. So, like, when they go to fight Riot at the end, Tom Hardy's like, how tough is this guy? And Venom's, like, talking in his head. And he's like, he's got shit you wouldn't believe. I love that. And when he's actually in Tom Hardy, the way Tom Hardy plays it, because he does both the voices, it is freaking hilarious. This is the best buddy movie I have seen all year, hands down. The best buddy movie. But that's when it changes, though. When the tone changes, once it gets that kind of the horror, more villain type thing, and it becomes like Tom Hardy and his buddy Venom, but it is friggin' hilarious. Like when he's in his head, Tom Hardy has a scene where these guys are in there, and Tom Hardy has his hands up, and Venom's like, put your hands down, you're making us look bad. And that's really funny. And when he won't jump out this window at one point, Venom's like, pussy. That shit was hilarious. I loved it. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. It's just like Jim Carrey. It's like Tom Hardy's Jim Carrey. At first, I was kind of iffy on his performance. I was like, I don't know if I like this or not. But later on in the movie, especially when he combined with Venom, I was dying of laughter. Dying of laughter. It was hilarious. Yeah, I laughed my ass off. It's just, Tom Hardy does a great job like playing mask characters and stuff like that, like Bane. Like, nobody cared who I was till I put on the mask. That's what this really reminds me of. He does a great job as Venom. Venom's like really cool CGI. Of course, some of the CGI shots aren't absolutely perfect. Anytime you're dealing with CGI, it's always going to look slightly weak every now and then compared to what you could get from practical effects. Or at least more so from practical effects. But he looks great for 99% of the movie. Cool action. One other bad points in the movie, it takes a long time to actually get to Venom. Like, at the beginning, it takes a long time till he gets the symbiote on him. And yes, it's an origin story, but still it feels like it takes forever. But when it actually gets on him, you're having a blast. And then another problem is once it gets on him and you're getting these fun action scenes, it's more like the movie Upgrade because he's like picking people and slamming them and stuff. But it's really funny because Venom is in his mind talking while he's like reacting at the same time. It's really funny, but at the same time, it starts to go on for too long and like, where's Venom? You can tell some of the stuff's been cut from this flick because at the end of the movie, like at first Venom's like a villain and he wants to like take Tom Hardy and help out Riot and bring the other symbiotes from space down to Earth, and he's like, now I've changed my mind, and Tom Hardy's like, why? And he's like, on my planet, I'm a loser too. So it's like you get the idea that Venom is, he would rather help out Tom Hardy and be one with him than to just be like a slave to Riot, really, just be a loser, like second in command. So that is kind of cool, but at the same time, Tom Hardy's like, well, what's the real reason? He's like, because of you, Eddie. And so, you know, it doesn't totally work, because you feel like you're missing something kind of in between, like when he came to the realization, Venom did, of why he wants to be with Tom Hardy's character. You feel like you're missing something in between. He gets to the ending fight between him and Riot is pretty fun, but Riot gets took out too easy, gets blown up on a spaceship. It's pretty quick, but at the end, though, you think Venom is dead. Of course, he's still on Tom Hardy. Then you get the scene where he walks into the store and he tells the robber dude, you're going to be a turd in the wind, which was pretty funny. And he eats the dude, but it's kind of off screen. Like, one other thing, I think this movie could have pushed it a little bit further into that R-rated territory. It feels like it probably should have been R, but it works for 99% of the time with the PG-13 rating. Like, Venom bites this dude's head off. It's really quick, but it still looked cool. But yeah, I feel like this movie could have worked better with R. But yeah, all in all, this is a 3.5 star flick. It's carried by Tom Hardy. He carries the film. You get a scene when Michelle Williams actually has Venom on her when she like tongue kisses Tom Hardy to transport to him, and it's like Venom's idea, which is pretty funny. And you get to see She-Venom or whatever, which is kind of kinky looking. But yeah, all in all, it's a pretty good flick. I like it better than any of the Spider-Man flicks after Spider-Man 1 and 2. It's not a great movie. Get Stan Lee cameo at the end. But it's an enjoyable movie. Kind of a messy story in parts, but really fun. And I would see a sequel with Woody Harrelson as Carnage, which is what the post-credit scene hits up at. So I'll see you guys again with the next review.